Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 232 for Saturday, October 10th, 2009. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is Paranormal Activity. This is a film that would like you to think that it doesn't have a director or any actors or anything like that, but it does. It's directed by Oren Peli and it stars Katie Featherston and Mika Sloat. And Paranormal Activity is basically a very, very low-budget horror film. I believe it cost $11,000, and it's about a young couple, Katie and Mika, and Katie starts experiencing some crazy paranormal activity, so her boyfriend Mika buys a video camera and tries to document what's going on to see if he can't get to the bottom of it. He basically sets up a tripod in their bedroom when they sleep to try to document anything that goes on while they're sleeping, any weird noises, stuff like that. I would probably say first off that if nobody has heard of this movie, which I would assume that most people have, is that it's very, very hyped up right now, and it's probably the most hyped film that I've heard of since Blair Witch Project, and I will say two things. One, I don't think that it lives up to the hype, but two, I don't think that any film could have ever lived up to the amount of hype that this film has behind it. It's just impossible. I mean, people are calling it the scariest film ever. If you're going into this movie expecting to see the most scary, shocking film that you've ever seen, you're going to be disappointed. And I don't think people should be necessarily expecting that. But that being said, I was probably more creeped out and absolutely scared and horrified at what I was seeing than probably any other film in recent memory. I think the only other film to scare me recently was The Descent, and that film came out like 4 years ago. And since then, Hollywood hasn't really been able to deliver on the horror, I think. And I think what Paranormal Activity does so well is that the horror of Paranormal Activity is all psychological. It's all in your head, and it's all showing you stuff without really showing you what's going on. And I think when I first sat down and was watching this film about a half hour in, I wasn't really too frightened by anything. I mean, people around me were freaking out by little doors opening here and there, wind you hear coming into the room. And none of that's really scary. I remember thinking, oh, is this all this film is going to be? But at about the 30-minute mark, this thing happens that I'm not going to spoil, but it has to do with time elapsing. And basically in the night scenes they show the time right here in the bottom right-hand corner. And when they showed it in the film, this thing that happens, I remember genuinely sitting in my seat and getting chills, and it absolutely scared me, and I was thinking, wow, that's kudos to those filmmakers, because it's very difficult to A, scare me, and B, create an effective horror film nowadays. I honestly think that horror is one of the most difficult genres of film to do, because it's hard to elicit fear in somebody. All that being said, I don't think this film lives up to the immense hype that it has going for it, but it is pretty creepy, and the last 10 minutes are pretty scary stuff. You could just feel it in the theater, all the people that are going crazy about it. I would be curious how this film would play on DVD as a first-time watch, though, because I think it might even be scarier on DVD in the privacy of your own home, because you're already hearing all the things that go bump in the night in your house, so I'm curious how that would play out. My one complaint, I think, with Paranormal Activity is that I think it has everything going for it up until the final kind of shot of the film. I think it ends in a very cheesy Hollywood type of horror film ending. I actually read that there were 2 alternate endings that they shot, which I would have probably preferred both of those. I think the other 2 alternate endings are a little more darker in tone and maybe things audiences wouldn't really want to see, but I think it probably would have worked better for the tone of this film. My only complaint. I give Paranormal Activity, though, a 4 out of 5. I think it's some of the creepiest stuff I've seen in a horror film in a very long time. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another one for you.